Hello, my name is Bill Keach and I work for Sunbelt Computer Software, and today we're going to talk about some of the changes that were added to the version 10.6 product. Specifically, we're going to talk about theme support and some of the newer items that you can use with your web controls. To use theme support, you must use the web view controls in either the client or PLB-WIN, or when using the web server, you must make sure to set the PLB use web view on. This keyword will make sure that you're using Bootstrap 5. Now let's run the program just to begin with and see what theme support can do for you. In this case, we have a sample that has numerous different controls on it. The sample is available on the GitHub samples. And you'll see up here we have a checkbox. When I pop it down, you'll see that we have a variety up to 24 default themes. And when we change a theme, for example to black tie, then we see that the colors change in a number of the controls. Any control that is set up with default coloring will change. Controls that do not have default coloring will still remain exactly the same. So in this case, the border along this control, or this stat text with a red background, or this new alert with a blue background, or the color of this progress bar will not change. Let's select another one. In this case, let's go to Dark Hive. And in this case, we now have a dark mode style that we automatically set. One of the things that does change, however, is it changes the month and day and year control. Let me change it again. In this case, we'll pick something that's green, and we'll look at the month, day, year control, and we'll see that it's now a green style, as well as a style for both the list view and panels. And now let's look at one more perhaps here. And we'll go down and look at another dark one. So in each case, we change those controls that are set with default attributes. Now, even though we provide 24 different themes, you can always make your own theme as well, but that will not be covered in this video. Now let's look at the program to see how all this happens. Stop the program here, and we see that the program starts by doing some initialization in main. The initialization in main is using the runtime object to set the web theme. In this case, it's theme number 3 as a default. It loads the form, and then actually sets up all our theme names from the combo box. So if we go up to the top, we'll see the various themes that get set up in there. And so by default, we're using a theme called Cupertino. We set up the themes. I put a little data into the list view. I create images from the web form to pull up some images, and then I add the images into a tab control. This is actually new. In 10.6, we added images back into tab controls just like they were on the Windows side. I then set up a label text with a different foreground and background color, and give it an appearance of a new BS5 alert, which we'll talk about in a minute. I also set the one edit number to have a border color of green, which we saw there, and we set the progress bar to have a background color of warning, and just give it a value of 20. So these were all just set to make sure that the theme, when we change it, doesn't change colors that are not set to the default. Now for testing purposes, I added a change theme event. So when a new theme is selected, all I basically do is get the theme number that was selected, and then what I do is I say set web theme, giving the actual theme number. It is a zero-based number, so I subtract 1 from the result returned by the combo box. you can read more about Set Web Theme inside the help file, and it'll give more specific details. But that's all that's required to change the theme. Now, as a test, what I also did was I added a couple of new things. Number one, I ended up setting a test where I changed the progress bar. And then I also changed the label text into what we call a Bootstrap 5 alert with a close button, which is Alert X. And then I tested out two more new methods that we added, which is being able to remove and add web classes. In this case, we're using some of the Bootstrap 5 classes. Now, Bootstrap 5 has many classes that you can use on your WebView controls. And for more information, you can actually go to the Bootstrap page. The Bootstrap page, you can read about various capabilities. As an example, we could take a look at some of the utilities and take a look at some of the capabilities of things we can do with text. In which case, you can see you end up having various text classes in there. As well, you can see that there are many other types of capabilities. For example, text truncation, where you could actually use a class called text truncate and set it inside your program using the add web class to add in a text truncate. Now let's run it and see what happens when we press the test button. So in this case, as I said, we have a new label style called alert. And if we press the test button, he changes a number of things. He changes the progress bar, and he also changes the label text into an alert with a close button. And we also used opacity 25 for the label text, remove the to give it a more see-through look. Now, if I click the X button, it will make that label go away, despite the fact that I did not need to set any kind of event method to hide it. So one of the nice things of these new alerts is not only do they have specific appearance, but you have the chance of allowing the user to make it automatically hidden without you needing to intervene. With these new features, we hope that people will be able to have both a dark mode and a light mode if they wish, and that the user will be able to customize the look and feel and the colors that they wish for default objects. Hopefully this little talk has been informative. My name is Bill Keach, and I sure hope that you give themes a test. Goodbye.